When funerals seal the distortion. How modern death rituals preserve trauma. Instead of releasing the soul, funerals are supposed to be sacred. They're supposed to offer closure, release, transition, a bridge between the living and the dead. But in the modern world, that's not what most funerals are doing. What's being performed now isn't soul work. It's social compliance, it's sterilized grief, it's pageantry for the living, and in many cases, funerals are not releasing the soul at all. They're sealing the distortion. They're locking the unresolved energy into the field, framing the narrative around guilt, avoidance, or sentimentality, and leaving the soul in limbo while the living are told to move on. Let's be clear, death is an energetic transition, not just a biological event. The soul needs guidance, acknowledgement, and sometimes even permission to leave. In ancient traditions, this was understood. Whether through Tibetan death readings, West African mourning drums, Hindu cremation rites, or indigenous wailing circles, the entire community participated in helping the soul cross completely. There was no rush. There was no pretending. The air was cleared. The body was honored. The truth was spoken. The field was released. That was real death work. Now compare that to the average Western funeral. Embalmed bodies, cosmetic touch-ups, a few speeches about how they were always smiling, sanitized stories, edited memories, no ritual of release, no acknowledgement of unresolved wounds, often no mention at all of how the person died or what their spiritual needs may still be. The focus is on making the living feel okay, not on sealing the energetic transition for the one who just passed. And in that silence, energy stays stuck. If the death was traumatic and it's never spoken about, that becomes the imprint. If there was abuse and it's glossed over, that becomes the legacy. If the person left behind emotional wreckage, but all anyone says is, they were amazing, that becomes the energetic residue. And the funeral becomes a spell, a social ritual that freezes the story in a false frame, locking in the distortion instead of clearing it. But this is not irreversible. If you attended a funeral that didn't feel real, one that didn't acknowledge the soul, one that felt performative or incomplete, you can do your own ceremony now. You don't need to relive the grief. You need to speak the truth. Go somewhere private, light a candle, call in the soul, and say what wasn't said. Name what the funeral denied. Name the grief. Name the regret. Name the rage if it's there. Then offer release. This wasn't cleared in public, but I'm clearing it now. You are free to go. I unseal the distortion. I close the portal with honesty, not illusion. If you were the one who wasn't allowed to speak, the one who saw the reality behind the mask, the one who held the unspoken truth, your voice is still valid now. You can say, they were more than their smile, more than the version presented, and I don't carry what they left behind. That declaration is freedom for both of you. Because real closure doesn't come from caskets and suits. It comes from energetic precision, from spiritual accuracy, from the courage to say, we're not sealing a lie. You don't have to dishonor the dead, but you do have to stop performing for the living. Because if the funeral becomes a facade, the portal doesn't close. It calcifies. And that distortion gets passed on. Sometimes the most powerful death ritual isn't the one attended by hundreds. It's the one done in silence, in truth, in the back room with a single flame. Because real release is not performative. It's energetic. And if they didn't get that in life, give them that in death. Not with stories, with soul. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Soul series, where we go beyond the surface of self-help, beyond the noise of the mind, and straight to the intelligence of the soul. This is not a motivational series. This is a remembrance, a return to the part of you that never forgot why you came here, even when the world tried to make you forget. If you've been searching for your purpose, your clarity, your power, not just on paper, but on a soul level, this is the series that delivers it. We're not playing small here. This is spiritual science meets divine design, a roadmap for awakening, alignment, and mission. Here's what's inside. Soul Game. Discover your purpose by design. Life is not random. It's a map, and your soul came in with a blueprint. In this module, we dive deep into the soul's architecture, why you're here, what you're built for, and how to stop surviving and start living by design. This isn't a guessing game. It's your coded mission. Soul surgery, the work of iconic soul surgeons. You've heard of heart surgery, but soul surgery? That's legacy work. This session explores the sacred role of soul surgeons, those who guide others through identity death and spiritual rebirth. We break down how true soul-level transformation happens and why it's the most powerful healing work on earth. Soul portals, life, death, and iconic transitional moments. Every soul enters and exits through a portal, but most people miss it. This module teaches you how to recognize soul portals, births, deaths, awakenings, relationship ruptures, and treat them as sacred rituals, not random chaos. This is where real magic lives. In the thresholds, miracles are real. You've been trained to believe in logic, but the soul operates through synchronicity, serendipity, and sudden shifts. This lesson rewires your mind to expect the impossible, because when your soul is aligned, the universe responds. We break down real miracles, real patterns, and how to become a magnet for the miraculous. Right sight, perception, and reality. The world you see is not the only world there is. This powerful teaching dives into the mechanics of spiritual perception, how your lens creates your life. You'll learn how to reprogram your sight to align with truth, not trauma. Because when you see clearly, you create cleanly. In-tune soul, sensory intelligence, and inner feedback systems. Your soul is always speaking. The problem is, most people have been trained to ignore it. In this module, we decode the human feedback systems, the energetic chills, the gut pulls, the emotional radar that lets you know what's true. You'll learn how to tune in with surgical precision and follow your soul in real time. This isn't spiritual fluff. This is soul-level precision training for the modern mystic. Whether you're in a rebirth, a dark night, or finally ready to step into what you really came here to do, the Soul series will take you there. This is the map for the ones who were never meant to fit in, because they were meant to lead. If you've been waiting for your signal, this is it. The Soul series is open now. Your soul remembers. Now it's your time to remember too. Let's move.